Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Tuesday, 73 as you're waking up. We're going to get to a high of only 78 today. It's light rain everywhere as we get to a 90% chance of thunderstorms today. The thunderstorms should move in roughly after 10 o'clock. Now, we're going to have light rain throughout the morning, but thunderstorm activity could increase after 10 as we do this. Let's go ahead and pull up radar to give you a glimpse as to what is happening this morning. As we go to Meridian Honda radar, as you see, it's green stuff everywhere. We're showing even some fog down in Laurel, and we also got some in North Mississippi and the northeastern corner of Alabama. As we zoom in on this, let's look at the big picture here. Back over in Natchez, heavy thunderstorms stretching back to Monroe, Bastrop, and to Ruston, Louisiana. As we get into Mississippi a little bit closer there, we'll start seeing that we're showing showers. Some thunderstorms there above Vicksburg there, Highway 61 in those areas, moving in on Yazoo. As we move closer across this, we go through Jackson, light rain, same thing through I-20, all the way over to Meridian, over to Butler, Alabama, to Uniontown, just light shower activity. Now, we do have one little storm if you're in Kemper County this morning that we want to bring up here. This would be due north of DeKalb on Highway 39 as we look at this, about right there. This will be just due east of where Cyphals Mills is as you're headed up 39 towards Sugarlock. Also, as we see some thunderstorms, areas there near Sturgis moving toward Mississippi State, if you've got to go up there north of Winston County this morning. Gives you a bird's eye view of what's happening now. But more rain to come. And as I mentioned, right up here at the state line, Corinth, all the way up into Collierville, Tennessee, these areas there, Jackson, Tennessee, we've got some fog. Be careful in those areas north of Memphis. Just glad I'm also there at the Rocket and Huntsville, Alabama. Some heavy fog this morning if you've got to go from 65 north across there anywhere. So things to keep in mind. Good morning. How are you? Glad to see you. Clarence Westbrook up and Adam. Robin Morris is up. Donna. Miss Laura Lee, how are you? Charlotte Gray is up. Philadelphia joining us. And so many other friends. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this as we begin today. Now, we're already starting today just like we had yesterday close out with Rex. This morning, if you're coming into Meridian, and let's go take a look at this. We just posted this just a few moments ago, about an hour ago, about a wreck that has happened in Meridian coming in the southbound lane of Highway 19 North. Now, you can pass, but it is a slow crawl right now as they try to get this cleaned up. As we look at this, this is the scene right in front of Marvin's Building Materials. We've had an 18-wheeler on a garbage truck in an accident this morning as we pulled this up, and it had flipped the garbage truck over in the ditch. Now, as we come across this is the scene of the 18-wheeler, what it looked like a chip truck. He was trapped for a few moments. Firefighters and emergency were able to free him pretty easily. He got out, and they've all been evaluated and taken to make sure they're okay. This is the scene as they're cleaning this up and flipping the truck over. Waste Pro is what's written on the truck as we look at this. So be careful coming in. This is most likely going to be what happens for the rest of the day as we look at this of just rainy, slick streets that cause these wrecks. So be careful. School bus is going to be rolling here in a few moments, and we want everybody to be careful there. I was seeing if I got an update of somebody that just went through there. Just got a note that it was not a problem moving through that area when they come along. So that's a sign that it is getting better there. So thumbs up on that. All right, let's see what else we've got going on this morning as we start looking around the area of things. Now, this is probably, as we all know, if you live in the outlying counties and ever have to come to Meridian, Mississippi for anything, one of the worst intersections that exist is Highway 39 and North Hill Street. This is going to be near Hardee's on Highway 39, where the Winn-Dixie is. Always be careful there. Yesterday was no different. As we look at this, another accident there yesterday afternoon. A car and a truck involved in this as we come along and look at this, different angles of the wreck. That's a closer look of what happened there of the car and the truck. It was a mess. Slow traffic for quite a while. The streets were wet. Traffic was backed up for a little while. I think everybody was okay and had to just be examined. That's the good news out of that. No wreck is ever good, but anytime that you can walk away. which leads us to our next story. We pass along condolences this morning as Marion, the town of Marion, has been, I don't know whether the word is plagued or just horrible. Within the last 4 days, 2 people have lost their lives on the highways around Marion. Yesterday was no different, as we find out that an 82-year-old man was killed yesterday in an accident. Names will be released later this morning as we do this to make sure that all family members are notified. We want to make sure that everybody's aware of this is the scene of where all this was. This is the looking from the Shell station back toward downtown Marion. As we look at this, this would be the left road that you'd take here. This is Marion Lyzia Road here on the right, and this would take you to the old fairgrounds. And due north is Highway 45. Or Dale Drive, that it is called now. That's where the accident happened. The gentleman was hit in the side. It flipped the truck, and he was ejected from the vehicle. Again, we cannot stress enough condolences on this after this accident happened yesterday afternoon. You hate to ever have to report these, but they do. But again, that's 2 deaths within 4 days. The other one would be right on the bypass on Friday night. The gentleman that was on the motorcycle, that he and his wife hit a deer. Just a tragedy. We urge prayers for all that are involved in all this. And again, I want y'all to be extremely careful. Leave a little bit early. We've got rain every day this week. School buses are out. You can't be too careful. Leave a little early. Give yourself a little time there if you get caught up in traffic to where it doesn't throw you off. MPD has been busy. They made an arrest. We don't have a picture of the gentleman, but this is on sammedia.network. They've made an arrest there. If you remember the pictures that we showed a week or so ago, a few days ago rather, to where Verizon, the windows were knocked out of it, the business right down from there, a loan company. And also Great Southern National Bank was broken into. He also broke into the cell phone doctor. That was on August 14th, and then Community Choice Loans. That was the name of the other business right down for Verizon, to where he broke into. They've got all of this. They've been charged with 4 counts of commercial burglary. I want to say upon arrest, they found boxes of iPads that were taken from Verizon. This will get you a little time for doing things like this. Kedrick Steele, 18-year-old, is in custody this morning after investigators, CID, broke this case yesterday. It's good news that someone will pay for what they've done wrong, so to speak. Meridian Police Department also yesterday made another arrest. Well, they passed along the arrest to us. Potsy Davis, let's pull up this, as they make an arrest on this from the CID division there on August 22nd, which was last night. Active felony warrant by our criminal investigation team. Commercial burglary. They got him there. He broke into A&B Electric is where that went down. $10,000 bond. Known A&B forever. Again, you work for what you got. Somebody tries to break in and take what is yours. We're glad that an arrest was made on that also. We go yet, you think, well, you're finished with wrecks. No. I don't know that we would have enough. I didn't have time to get them all yesterday. There were so many wrecks. Fortunately, the only bad one we had was one. We go out near West Lauderdale for our next wreck as you're coming across the reservoir and you get ready to take that left to go toward West Lauderdale or go straight toward Martin is where this incident happened as we pull this up. A truck flipped over on its side. Everybody was okay as you'll look at this. They flipped it back over, and he was able to go on his merry way. But there for a moment, it's kind of scary looking there as you come up on that incident there with that car on its side. And strict sleet, that didn't even make sense, did it? Strict streets. I'm not even going to try to say that 3 times fast because I don't think I could. I get tongue twisted pretty easy there. But that was the scene of another wreck. We go out to Russell Topton Road for our next accident there. Had possible injuries with that. Volunteer fire department was on it. They came up on that. Slid off into the ditch there. Let's see. I think we had some more, if I am not mistaken. We did. There was another one out in Causeyville that happened. Again, Most of these were just, I got a bruise or two. Thank heavens. It could have been a lot worse. But always keep this in mind on your tires, too. If you've got some slick tires, make sure to get those fixed, replaced, because in wet weather, dry weather, it really doesn't matter. When it rains just a little bit, it makes those tires a little bit slicker there. Drop by and see our friend Matthew. You'll find him over at Eastgate Tire if you need a set. Great family-owned business there in Marion. They'll help you out, and they're honest about it. If you don't need tires, he won't sell you tires. He understands how much it is to make a living and take care of kids and babies, and they'll treat you right. Drop in and visit with them. They'll tell you more. We go next. I spoke with the sheriff of Neshoba County, Eric, yesterday, and they had a death that occurred. As we look into this, we pulled this up also from sammedia.network, if you haven't read lately. An inmate died while in custody at the Neshoba County Jail. Now, no foul play is suspected at this time. It happened just after 11 o'clock Sunday night. EMS was dispatched to the detention facility. Details are limited right now, but they do not expect anything. They've sent the body for an autopsy, and we will know more about this in a day or so. Again, no matter who you are or what that case was, we pass along condolences on that. We don't have the name yet that has not been released. That will be forthcoming before long on that. May Strickland, how are you? Good to see you there. Don Carney watching us from the big state of Florida. Probably pretty there. Reggie McKee, good morning there from downtown DeKalb. Les, how are you doing today? Also, Sandy Carroll is up today. Good to see you. As we start looking around at some of these state cases of what's going on around the state of Mississippi, Ridgeland, Mississippi. A man was arrested, another one wanted after a car chase there. Pretty common thing where people run from the law. We go to Jackson for yet... They made an arrest of a man. They've charged him with stabbing someone. And you break it all down and how it got solved. This man was arrested for something else, and he had a motorcycle. Well, as they dug deeper into this, he had taken it for repair, and they got a statement. The guy said, well, when he brought it in, he said he'd killed somebody for it. Guess what? He wasn't lying. As investigators dug deeper into that, an elderly man was stabbed and a motorcycle taken from his home. And that's how they pieced it all together in Jackson, that this guy was guilty of all of this. Awful, awful. They've arrested Corey Leopard, 33 years old, for the murder of a 73-year-old man in Jackson. Just seems to get worse in this world that we live in, doesn't it? We'll go to Jones County next, which is just due south of us. Laurel, Hattiesburg area, down in there. Laurel area there. Fireworks. Always know what you're doing. We don't know what happened here, and we don't have the names of the people, but emergency officials were dispersed to a home to where a firework had gone off. They had to take the family to the local Dollar General to where medical people could get to them to help them. From what I understand, it messed a man's hand up and it injured his girlfriend or wife, whatever she may be. We don't have names, but it was serious. Be careful if you have those laying around. We don't know if they were tampering with it, lit it. Not many details are on this, but it hurt them critically. They had to put a tourniquet on the hand. It was so bad. That's not something you play with. I-20, as we go over to Pearl, Mississippi. This would be right over near where Bass Pro Shop is. 2 Dodge Chargers, fast cars, were racing. Cops got after him. One car pulls over. He gets a ticket. He goes home. The other ran. And you go, well, why would somebody run? Well, usually you got more issues than you know what to do with if you run from the law. And this was probably the same thing. He went on. He had no driver's license. He had no tag. He wrecked. He's got a ton of charges on him now. And he could have just gotten a little slap on the wrist, but felony fleeing is put on this. It got real bad. He'll spend a little time there in jail there. Emmanuel Harris, he's 21 years old, charged with reckless driving, felony fleeing, no tag up on that car. Oxford, as we go up to Ole Miss this morning, we have a person that is arrested, did it 5 times. Credit card fraud, which basically means he had somebody's stolen credit card and was swiping it. They've arrested him. He'll get to spend a little time and think about what he did. Good morning, JT. Glad to see you're up here. Jones County. I should have put these stories together. It's always something going on. I'm not sure I'd want to be a deputy in Jones County. It is one thing after another. You think we got some stuff that goes on. Jones County, I read it all the time. As we look at this, as they are looking for an alleged shooter, Frederick Cooley. Supposedly he and another man got into an argument. A gun was pulled. One was shot. Wasn't bad. The other man shot back. He ran. They're looking for him now. What leads to an argument that could get you into where you want to shoot at somebody? Seriously, it could be bad there. Okay, I just got a note. As traffic gets picked up here, as we're watching this on Highway 19, a few minutes ago, traffic wasn't bad, but more cars are out. Traffic is backed up all the way to Walmart now there on 19 coming into Meridian. Be careful in that. That's near Marvin's. You're coming in, you got to go to work. You might want to take a old 8th Street Road in Meridian, or take a left there at North Hills and go around all this into town somewhere or another. But it's slow traffic coming into town. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this morning, beginning at 8 o'clock with Candace, of families that don't have a father. It has a great influence. And where does all this come from? Shad White has done an investigation. We know that name well now in the state of Mississippi. He tracks down people that take things that aren't theirs. And he says this has cost taxpayers in the state of Mississippi $700 million over the course of time. $700 million. And this is families without a father. As they get into this, and it says that fatherless children are less likely to get a high school education. It goes on and on of the trouble that boys can get into, and even the teen girls end up sometimes being pregnant because of lack of a father figure in a home. Interesting there. We'll talk a little bit more about that this morning. It is. Family is everything. And I think if you had that, it would cut back on a lot of crime. Need somebody there to direction in a family there to help boys. You do. Only so much a mom can do by herself. We all know that. That's not running down before anybody jumps up and says, I was talking about women and not being able to run a household. That's not it. A father figure. So it's a big difference there of what I mean. Pearl River County, a 13-year-old has died. Accidental shooting between another juvenile. That would be awful for that to happen. We also see that in Pass Christian, a child has been arrested for arson. No names or anything like that, but a break-in happened the first night, went back, and a fire was set. Been arrested for that. We have a man that has avoided the death penalty by making a plea deal, and he'll spend 40 years in jail for the death of a little boy. He was babysitting a 6-year-old. The child was injured under his care. He's been found guilty. He made a plea deal. 40 years. We start looking around at some of this, and again, Dallas, Texas, tons of rain. And this is all this rain that's moving in from the west, from Texas our way. There's been a lot of people being rescued out in Texas. As we look at this, in Dallas, an Uber driver, her car, she was swept to her death. She drowned. It's a lot of water in Dallas. That's how much rain has come with this. Awful, awful, awful. High school football coach that the movie Friday Night Lights was based on. Y'all remember that movie? He has passed away. 73, Gary Gaines. We pass along condolences to his family as we learn of that this morning. A few other things that's happening nationally that we look out to this. Mexico, journalist. Who really runs Mexico? I think we all know the answer to this. It's you've seen movies before, and it's not far off the truth mark. As we know, the cartel has a large hand of what goes on in Mexico. As we learn that, how many is this? The 14th journalist this year has been killed. Why? He wrote an article criticizing the cartel. 14 journalists this year. Not the thing to do in Mexico, is it? That's a few of the headlines around the state, local, that's happening this morning. We're going to get into your forecast here in just a moment and let you kind of know what's happening in our area. Don't rush off. We'll have something to talk about in a moment. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. Good morning to everyone. Lisa Berry starting to stir a little bit in Bailey this morning. Glad to see you there. To Corey, how are you? Headed out this morning. Be careful. Again, streets are wet. We'll look at radar again here in just a moment. Let's get into the forecast and find out a little bit closer what's going on in our area.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we begin each forecast, we look at our record highs and record lows. 2007, it was 105 degrees on this date. Hot, hot, and hotter. 1956, a record low of 54 was set. It's pretty cool. 56 has been a few years ago. As we move forward to see what else we've got today, well, the rain is a-coming. As we look at the 78 for a high in Meridian. Now, again, we'll have light showers through about 10 o'clock and then a chance of thunderstorms roll into the forecast after 10, 77 in Philadelphia. And it'll stay that way through Louisville on up to Stark, Vegas. As we go south, a little warmer in Hattiesburg at 78. Natchez will make it to 79. As we move across that Bama state line, Tuscaloosa looks to be 80 today. Demopolis, Livingston area, 78 as well. As we go to Troy and southward, a little bit warmer. Now, flash flooding is very possible. And as you can see here, it appears that it'll be heavier in the Jackson area. And this should creep right up around Scott County there, about where the welcome centers are. As we look at this, Newton County and Neshoba County, Winston, all these areas with Clark, we're under a level 1, a limited threat. We could receive 2 to 4 inches of rain through tomorrow night. That's a lot of rain there. Localized flash flooding is possible. This area back over toward Jackson and the Mississippi Delta, 3 to 6 inches could happen. We'll be on top of this very carefully. And remember, water is dangerous, whether it's overtaking roads or making it slick for you there. Now, the outlook for the next 6 to 10 days, that's what we're looking at here. Yeah. We got this. It's a little bit normal at this point. One of the few times we got a little bit below temperatures making its way towards us out of Texas there. Comes across. We'll look at that extended forecast here in just a moment to see all of that area a week out. Now, again, as today's forecast rolls in, this is what we're looking at. As I mentioned, today we've got a 90% chance of rain, high only of 78. Light showers between now and 10, and then thunderstorms pick up after 10 o'clock. Rainfall amounts not to exceed, we don't think today, over an inch. By tonight, we get down to a 60% chance of showers, cloudy with a low around 70. Tomorrow rolls in, and we bump back up to a 90% chance of showers there on Wednesday. As we see that, thunderstorms possible, up to another inch of rain tomorrow. Same goes as we go into Thursday, 90% chance of rain. If you'll see this, it's going to be wet. I don't think any of us are going to be mowing grass over the next couple of days. It's just going to grow and grow. All the way through Monday, we've got a 60% chance. Now, highs warm back up as we look at today in the 70s, 81. Then we jump back up to the upper 80s there. Let's go another week and look into this as we go all the way through September the 6th, and we'll dip back down into the mid-80s there for a little bit. But rain chances continue for this wet August. It has been warm. We're getting ready for September to be long. Won't be long before we start seeing tractors breaking up ground for deer season, and it'll probably be where you don't see any rain at all. Won't you? Al Davis just told us if you're coming into Meridian, take Old 8th Street Road from Highway 19 from Collinsville to Meridian because traffic is backed up bad now. Earlier, it wasn't so bad, and I guess that was due to the fact there just wasn't as many cars out. So avoid that area if at all possible. It's a one-lane type thing they're letting traffic through. So, what's going on with the tropics? This has been updated since I loaded this picture. As we pull this up, we're at a 20% chance of this becoming something as this comes off. Now, over the next few days, you can expect another storm to develop. We'll watch all of this, but right now we've got one storm that could potentially become something there with the National Hurricane Center as we watch it carefully and cautiously of what goes on. And as you'll see, that looks like that'll head directly toward the Gulf, doesn't it, in the Atlantic at this point. Still a few days out. So as we get ready to talk about fishing today, Chet's Paint and Body wants to remind you, a great time to get out. It'll be 10 o'clock today through about lunch. Could get wet, just warning you there. Second major time will be about 6 this afternoon for about an hour there, 6 to 7. Got a chance after work to wet a hook and have a good time there. Again, coming up at the top of the hour there, so let's go back and look at radar one more time to let you know where all this rain is this morning as you begin your day and take a look at what we've got. Again, light rain is what we've got in the Meridian area all the way back to Jackson. It picks up heavy showers and Natchez this morning, but it's light everywhere, making the streets slick. A little bit of fog to the south there, and Laurel, Hattiesburg. As we turn radar off, let me show you this. This is flood is what this is. Aerial flood watch is what we've got. All of this highlighted green area, which shows us just kind of like that radar where this is at level 2 here of rainfall for today and tomorrow. In our area, it's a level 1. As always, anything can change, but that's where we are with the prediction of how much rain we will get. Again, we're getting ready for a big show coming up at 8 o'clock. Candace will be here. Won't be the same without you. I hope you'll join us and tell us more about what's going on in the communities around you. If you're around, send us a message. We'd like to know. Put information out to everyone. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in an hour and 3 minutes from now as we'll bring you the show live here at Facebook, YouTube. You can also follow us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. A great way to have a backup plan to watch us. As well, we'll be on Fox 30 in Meridian. Join us, won't you? Thank y'all so much, and we'll see you back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: